ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Hi, bros, ultimate dudes. Listen, your mommy is finally returning to her motherland of Canada, where I was born. I will be doing Winnipeg and Toronto. And those tickets will be on sale by the time this comes. ChristinaPOnline.com. So get your tickets now. I have a feeling Toronto's going to go really fast. Have you done Winnipeg?
First of all, I'm shocked. All this time I've known you, I didn't know you were from Canada.
Yeah. Can you believe it? I was born in Canada.
I'm out.
Are you telling me you're the... Because it's funny, the Canadians, you never hear anybody be like, I fucking hate Canadians.
Right,
They're the
right.
worst.
I like to be the original with anything, so I'll be the first person. Why do you hate him? It doesn't fucking matter. Just do.
They have ketchup flavored chips, which are so good. Do you like those?
I stop eating chips. I'm past chip eating age.
Yeah, well, so
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't be fucking with them, but that sounds good. Yeah. You know what? I'm back in Canada. I'll fuck with you again.
You fuck with him. With me is Ian Edwards. If you don't know who he is, he's so fucking funny. And I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna move to Austin. You're gonna be with us again because I haven't seen you in years since the pandy.
I know. I mean, first of all, I've always thought about moving to Austin before the pandemic. You know, but I never act on my actions. So now I'm gonna have to pay to move to Austin.
Right.
As opposed to just if I'd have just did what I thought about
Like
years
a decade ago.
Yeah, a decade ago when I started coming to like South by Southwest and Moon Tower.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like the vibe of this place.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of cheap right now. Like, get in.
You could have got a house like on the lake for like $1 million maybe back then. And now
How much is a house on the lake now?
nothing. It's nothing. It's just like
That sounds like you got a house on the lake right now.
you can get a ranch.
A ranch.
You know what's so funny is that my husband is like he's into these ranch vibes now. He visited. Was his name beautiful Daniel Ricciardo? Is that his name?
The Formula One racer?
Yes, he came on YMH and he lives in Perth and he has a ranch in Perth. So my husband visited him and he sent me videos of him on fucking 4-wheelers and horses and shit. And he's like, I think we should get a ranch, babe. And I'm like, all right. So I checked out a friend's ranch. I couldn't leave fast enough.
Yes, you couldn't leave fast enough.
I didn't. It's dirty. Did you know that animals live on ranches and they're fucking filthy?
Animals live on ranches.
And you're just watching like horses and cows take shits, and it's just nasty, you know.
And it smells and there's flies.
It's like I don't know if he really knows what he's asking for.
Did you? So you went to a different ranch or the one that he went to?
Different. So he's on like the Formula One drivers ranch.
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe-
at a guy here in Texas.
Yeah, maybe it's the style of ranch. You know, because you could go to a house and be like, this is a nice Spanish house. I want a Spanish house. And then go to another Spanish house and like, Spanish houses are crap. You know, so it's like,
That's
I guess,
true.
Yeah.
I need to look into this. Now, would you live in a ranch? I don't see you doing ranch vibes.
Nah. I mean, I'd go visit one. I'd pay money to stay on one for like 3 days for the novelty and the romance.
The romance.
You know, but I don't know if I'm not. I like being near a city and walking and seeing people.
Sure.
And that's why I like Austin. Like you can see like if I lived in Austin, I wouldn't even go anywhere.
I know.
Like I'd be within walking distance of downtown.
Then you should definitely come and live in downtown. There's a lot of great buildings, especially if you're a single dude.
Right.
You just, single guy vibes. Rob Eiler lives in a dope ass, one of those buildings, and that'd be a great life for you. You can just like walk around, pick up chicks, fucking drink beer.
Yeah.
You can go watch drink beer, watch your soccer match. Because you've got like these Euro vibes.
I do?
Yeah, because you're from Jamaica, no? Like originally?
Yeah. I'm from born in England. We're gonna find out shit that we didn't know about each other, even though we've known each other for a minute.
I know. I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know your basics.
Yeah. We don't know each other. We skipped the basics and went straight to like comedy, you know?
Yeah.
But born in England, raised in
Where
Jamaica,
in England?
in London, Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
That's where that rhyme is. Makes me want to jiggle. You know, Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, that's in there.
Anyway, where is Shepherd's Bush?
It's in London. I heard it's fancy now.
Okay.
So when I tell people that's where I grew up, they're like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Now, your parents were originally from London?
Nah, they're Jamaican.
Okay, so they moved there.
Uh-huh.
They were like, we're going to stay here. No, we're not.
Right.
And then they left. They went back to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
And what part of Jamaica are you from?
Like Old Harbor and Spanish Town and the parish of St. Catherine.
Wow. It sounds so exotic.
I mean, it is, you know. It doesn't just sound it. It is, you know what I'm saying? I got to sell it like that.
Will you Google pictures of these places? Because I've been to the tourist Jamaica, like Negril. What's the bay?
Montego Bay.
Montego Bay, beautiful. But like, you know,
Google it. You know what's funny? I have never Googled St. Catherine.
Let's see. Because you don't
Old
know a
Harbor.
place when you're just in the hotel and this is where you spent your childhood?
Yeah, but these are like the fancy parts. Like sometimes we go on trips to like Ocho Rios or Dunn's River Falls.
Yes, I've
or
been to
Montego
Ocho
Bay.
Rios.
You know what I mean? But that's not like where we lived. But you know what's funny? I went back for a funeral because that's mostly what I go back to Jamaica for, to bury people.
It's so depressing. That's what middle age is all about.
Yeah. It's like when
People die.
Yeah, somebody has to die to get a visit.
Well, shit is far.
Yeah.
That's not an easy flight.
Yeah, it's not an easy flight. And I went to like Marley Mount. That's the elementary school that I went to. And my cousin is living in this house that is like, it's kind of a mansion, but only one room is complete. And he lives in that one complete room. So he lives in these ruins that has one room that's completely done. That's fancy as fuck. And
amazing.
it's been being built for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because in Jamaica, you start some shit,
Yeah.
and then it takes time for you to get the rest of the money.
Sure.
But the plans are lofty. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen houses being built, and I'm like talking about 2-bedroom houses being built for like 40 years in Jamaica. and you'd be like, was there a fire? If you just new to the, was there a fire? No, they just
Jamaica.
They started. It's only 10 years in. They started. They got to finish it.
Is that because I imagine it's hard to get supplies? Like, don't you have to getting wood, like lumber and parts? Because you guys it's an island. It's not
Right.
like, you have to import everything.
I think people run out of money.
Oh,
Or somebody who was building ran off with the money. Or people just run out of money.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
What a culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened.
So what was it like growing up there?
In Jamaica, it was kind of funny because, when you're born in England, it's like a first world country versus a third world country. So now we're in a country with no plumbing at the time. Like where we lived, we had outside bathrooms and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we had like a decent amount of land. So if you're like a young kid and you just watched a horror movie and then you need to use the bathroom at night, you have to leave the house.
No.
And there's this distance to this outhouse at night. And you're like, I'll just hold this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or there was like a chimney, which is like a piss pot.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to tell. I was talking about this a few episodes ago where I was like, I wouldn't walk to the outhouse. Or was it on your mom's house where I was like, I would never walk to the outhouse in the middle of the night. My grandma they're from Hungary, my relatives.
Oh, okay. So we have like, there we go. Let's
Yeah, like you just do crazy Eastern European shit. She would have a piss pot next to her bed, but she would come visit us like in LA and she would still bring her fucking piss pot.
She would bring it?
Yeah, dog. And I'm like, why are you peeing in the pot, dude? Like the bathroom's right there. Like she would bring her like, Eastern blocky ways, and she didn't like air conditioning. So in the summertime, she would wear a bathing suit and she would get it wet and then just sit in a wet bathing suit because she's like, it makes me cool. I feel cool now. And you're like, that is so nasty. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. We used to have those under the bed, like the porcelain ones.
Ooh, it was fancy.
Piss in it and then slide that shit back under the bed and empty that shit in the morning.
Would you ever make brown in them?
It's like a tour bus. It's tour bus rules with the chimney.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You can't shit on the tour bus.
Yeah.
It's just for number one.
Sure.
It's the same rules. Like you're not gonna do that when people in the house at night. You know what I mean? So tour bus rules with the piss pot.
Tour bus rules. Did you eat goat stew?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamaicans. I remember a lot of goat stew.
Mm-hmm.
And so you lived on like land. So you got to roam around and kind of live like I imagine. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I got siblings and I had cousins. We had 2 houses on the same piece of land. One was my grandfather's house, and that was called Upper Yard. And then we had Downer Yard, which is right where my grandfather's daughter / my father's sister lived. So my cousins were there, and then you just climb this fence for the backyard, and there's these mountains, and we just go explore the mountains. That's like a playground and shit. Wow. So we just go be climbing and just be anything could have happened to us up there. Anything. Just
dead. Yeah, fall into a ravine or whatever.
Like
snakes.
Now that I live in America, in LA, it's what we did was called hiking. Right. No idea. Right. We did not even know that word existed. It was hiking / camping. We just like went out there.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That's such it sounds very idyllic actually. And
no, it was super. It was just mad fun.
Yeah.
You know, like I never like wanted any toys or anything. It was like, let's go climb this shit and see what's up here.
Yeah.
And try to get higher each time. And then like your mind goes back in the past because you're going to school and you're getting these history lessons about the country. And you're wondering like, did slaves hide up here? Did like, just all these things go through your mind and shit like that while you're doing it. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun.
And what was your mother like?
She's mad cool. She's still alive. And, but there was a point where she had to come to America. Like once they were like, they moved us from England, they moved us to Jamaica. And then she's like, let me go to America and see what that's like. She walked point and then started got a job and got situated and then got our green cards and then did all that work. Like she's a soldier, man. Like straight soldier. And then then got us to New York and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so she was gone for let me see, for maybe 4 or 5 of the years that I was there.
What?
Yeah.
So your mother goes to the U.S. She lands where? In New York City?
In New York, yeah.
Jesus
Queens.
Christ. And what kind of work does she do?
She was a nanny.
Wow.
You know D.C. Benny?
No.
He's a D.C. comic, but he came up in New York a lot, and he has this joke about a lot of these rich New York white families have these Jamaican nannies, and it's going to backfire. And he's like, the mom is trying to get their white kid to eat while when the nanny's gone, and the nanny's like, and the kid is like, me don't want your blood clot food. And she's like, I'm gonna tell your dad when he comes home. Well, tell him blood clot. The kid grows up with a Jamaican accent, and it's that's one of my favorite jokes of all times. And it's DC Benny's. It's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I do like. It's called. Is it a patois? That's the word. Patois. Yeah. I love that too. When I was in Jamaica, I did a TV show there once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my favorite thing was just listening to the people who worked on this property chat, and just overhearing their dig. Oh, I went to the store and I did that, and you're like, that's there's something so warm and comforting about that. I don't know.
Could you make out
Fuck no. That's why I was listening. I was like, I got to figure this out. They're speaking English, but not.
It's funny. That should be a game show here.
I know.
You know how they, is it, which one do you have to guess the letters? In Wheel of
like Wheel of Fortune. Yeah,
it should be like it should be like patois, and like have like white people or just American people like finish this sentence. Like, what were they saying?
That would be so funny.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah,
we got to do that on YMH.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Yeah,
That's actually we do a segment.
I'll come here and I hope you run that show whenever I'm in town. When I move here,
please.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and you haven't gotten your dad anything yet. But don't worry, that's where the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, comes in. You and I both know he needs some serious grooming in his life, so grab your dad the Performance Package 4.0, and he'll thank you for helping him tame his beast. It's a win-win situation for both mom and dad. Go to manscaped.com and use code WMMA for 20% off plus free shipping. Manscaped has changed our lives in the Sakura home. My husband's beard and everything else is tamed and clean thanks to Manscaped. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and perfected their game with the Lawnmower 4.0. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. They also have other amazing products like cologne, Crop Mop Ball Wipes, Crop Reviver Ball Toner, and Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. Thank God for that. Get your dad a gift you know they will use. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WMMA. Don't forget that you came from your dad's balls. This year, show your original home some love with Manscaped. Father's Day is around the corner, and one thing is for sure, dads have enough ties, tools, and baggy tees. This year, get the dad, father figure, or loved one in your life looking good and feeling good in True Classic. From the guys who brought you the perfect fitting t-shirt, True Classic makes premium everyday essentials more affordable than ever. So if you're looking for something that they'll actually wear, stress less this year with 25% off at trueclassic.com. Just use code WMMA at checkout. I love my True Classic shirts. I got a bunch of them in the house. They're just clean. They're well cut. They're cotton. I mean, so hard just to find a regular nice cotton shirt. True Classic shirts are ultra soft and fitted in the arms and shoulders with just enough room where they need it for the perfect fit and feel every time. Gift more for less on bundled packs of button-downs, Henleys, polos, and more styles he'll want to wear on repeat, guaranteed. True Classic is hooking our listeners up with an exclusive deal to help you get ahead on gifting. For a limited time only, get 25% off with the code WMMA at trueclassic.com. That's 25% off with the code WMMA plus free shipping. Included on purchases over $100. Yeah, because we do a segment called Master of Accents where Tom tries... but it started with where we try to figure out, it's usually drunk Irish people because it's like a double whammy because they're drunk, so their brains already scrambled and they're like and like you can't, like I know this is English, but this is not sensible. It's just bananas.
Hilarious.
What was I going to say to you? So
a lot of Jamaican patois is from Irish. It's Irish.
No,
because Irish people were there too, so a lot of it, like the way Jamaican people talk, if you listen, it's kind of similar to non-drunk Irish and drunk Irish.
So the Irish came to Jamaica?
Yeah, like with the English and shit. So it's like a mixture. Yeah, colonizers. Yeah, son of a bitch.
Son of a motherfuckers.
Son of a bitch.
I know, right? That's wild. How did you learn about that stuff growing up?
You just learn it in school. Because like it's a part of the island's history. So, when you grow up here, you learn American history. Like when I was growing up in England, we learned like English history in school. So I went to school in England. So when I went to Jamaica, we learned Caribbean history, which is also connected to English history. And then when we come to America, I learned like American history. So I got like 3 separate sets of schoolings and shit in me.
That is wild. Yeah, and what was the primary difference? What did you notice?
It's just, the difference is like, they're all connected, because America and England's connected. America and England and Jamaica's connected, and England's connected. You go deep into English history and like where English people are from and how the world so it just gives you a better perspective of all of them.
The world dynamics of how we're all interconnected.
Yeah,
that's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty bananas.
It is fucking bananas. And Americans, I think because geographically we're so separate from the rest of the world, and it's not the rest of the world, but just from Europe. And, you forget that we're from the English.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see it when you travel to the East Coast and you're like, this looks like Europe.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh yeah, that's because we're Europeans. We started off that way.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking weird. Yeah, speaking of Jamaican nannies, so there was a time where we lived, we rented a house in this fancy part of Los Angeles, and Kim and Kanye lived in this development with us, and
shit.
we weren't friends or anything, but our kids would play on the same playgrounds, and so Saint, Saint is the same age as Ellis, and that was actually Ellis's first play date friend, not play date, but they would meet at the park, and that was his first friend was Saint. And they had a Jamaican nanny.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, because the nanny
Hilarious.
it was never Kim or Kanye at the park, obviously.
Right.
It was like an armed guard and then like the Jamaican nanny. And I loved, I would listen to her, but she was so fucking strict with Saint. She'd be like, Sainty, eat your baby mom, eat your baby mom, which is like a cracker. And he's like 6 months old. He can't even do it. And she's like, come on, sit up straight. Like she was so mean to him. But apparently Kanye only wanted Jamaican nannies. That was like his mandate.
Yeah, Jamaican parents are strict.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, and then they, I think it is actually good for white kids to have a Jamaican.
It's imperative.
It's imperative because I feel like white kids get away. This is stereotypical, but it's true. Like white kids get away with so much with their parents.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
you need somebody to let you know, nah, motherfucker. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Yeah.
So your mother ventured on her own to New York City alone, right? She goes alone, or she takes somebody with her?
she went alone, but my
Jesus.
father's brother was there, and so she moved in with them, and then started working, then got her own job, then got her own place, and then saved up money, so that we
Jesus.
could come out there, on a goddamn nanny,
and in New York.
and in New York, yeah. Even though I think New York was expensive back then, but it's now it's just bananas.
Bananas.
But yeah.
What a woman. So she really wanted you to have opportunity. Was that the thought? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think England is very hard, isn't it, to make a living for yourself if you're not from there generationally? I don't know how people live in London. It's so expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's always been.
I have English friends, and their issue with England is that there's a ceiling. You can achieve a certain amount, but there's a ceiling. That's why they love America, because they feel like there's no ceiling.
Yeah.
And you can go from zero to billionaire, like a regular person. That you can't do that in England. But then Jamaica had less opportunities. It's less people can make it there than like here. So she's like, let's go where there's the more opportunity,
Isn't that crazy? I know. And I think about it now because my parents fled Hungary in 1969.
Yeah.
Fled. They were 18 years old, 17. They got
18?
married.
Shit.
And then my dad and my mom were like, fuck this. The Russians took over Central and Eastern Europe, annexed it, the communists.
Right.
Communism is what the woke want now. Fucking retards. But so they annexed they destroyed the country, and there was no hope. You can't advance yourself. So
Right.
they escaped through Yugoslavia. They got put in a camp in Italy for 2 years, and then the Catholic Church sponsored them.
What, a refugee camp?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then they got sponsored to come to Canada by the Catholic Church, and that's where I was born. And then finally in 1980 maybe I was like 3 or 4, we came to the U.S. Finally. And you're like, dude, you did all that?
Just to get to America? That's
Yeah.
so bananas, man.
It's so bananas. And I don't know, you're I'm so grateful that they did all that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just be in Budapest right now with 10 kids
Yeah.
and God knows what.
That's crazy. I wouldn't even do that for me.
No. No.
It's crazy. I have Vietnamese friends, or I know there's 2 people that they're Hmong, so they're from that part of Asia, and what their parents did and when you talk to Persian people,
Yeah.
and then they hear about what their parents did to the deserts and shit that they, it's like we had to pay this man and he took us on
Yes.
And it's like, it's so crazy.
It just to come here.
Yeah.
I know. And it still kills me when people poo-poo America. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
go try it out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go see how you like it.
Yeah.
Go live in Iran, dipshit. See how
Yeah.
you like that. Anywhere else.
Yeah.
So she works hard and then she brings you over. And how old are you when you land in New York City now?
I think I'm like 17.
Wow.
Like 16, 17. Yeah.
And you've already had 2 lifetimes, one in England, one in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
So you're like I assume pretty savvy. Like like you're not just some hayseed who shows up in New York.
Yeah. But we're still kind of like, and we've seen like shows about America and all that shit. And like most of the TV programming we watch is American.
Yeah.
But now you're in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in that high school that you saw on TV.
Yeah.
You're a part of all the shit that you've seen in the movies. Like you're in the movie.
So wild, right?
You're an extra in this shit. Yeah.
Did your trip, was that intimidating for you?
It's like you have no choice. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So you just got to get living. You know what I mean?
Get living. So where did you live when you moved to Jew Dork Titties?
So then so what did you say? New York Titties?
It's called Jew Dork Titties.
Jew Dork Titties.
Listen, you know how many shirts we've sold that say Jew Dork Titties?
Jew Dork Titties.
Yeah, it's YMH. We rename all the major cities.
Oh, good.
So yeah, it's Jew Dork Titties.
Jew Dork Titties. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to skip that. That's my.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So we lived in the Long Island part of Jew Dork Titties.
Long Island.
Long
So you live in
Island.
Long Island.
Uh-huh.
Fucking wild. And do you remember, like, did you go to high school or were you already done with high school? by
Nah, I went to
17?
high school. Yeah. My older brother didn't go to high school. And my older sister didn't go to high school. But me and my younger sister went to Uniondale High School. And it was like good. And I don't want to say bad. It wasn't bad, but it's just like when you got to figure shit out,
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know what the word is for not knowing how to figure shit out. You know what I mean? And having to figure shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we had a lot of fun
Yeah,
on top of that.
Well, that's okay then. So
Yeah.
did people, when you landed, were you seen as like the cool Jamaican kids or were you like...
Nah, you the motherfucker off the banana boat. I'm like, hey man, I flew here.
So people, would they make fun of you for your accent? Because I imagine you must have been pretty strong when you came.
But then there were Jamaican kids in the school.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm automatically in the Jamaican gang. Prison rules.
That's right. You had to click up. Only click up.
Click up.
So you found your click.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but did you like those kids? Were they cool with you?
Yeah. Because I had shit in common with them. It was just, you just walk in. They're like happy to get more reinforcements.
Yeah.
And you're happy to like have a bunch of shit in common with people and they get you and they have to accept you. Your application, the application form is Irie.
Yeah. People really say Irie.
Yeah.
See, I always thought that was a stupid tourist
Commercial, yeah.
Yeah, like, gosh, I don't want to say Irie. Who really says it? You really do fucking say that.
Yeah.
Interesting. My whole life, I'm like, nobody says Irie. That's just terrible. Okay, what about Pass the Dutchie?
Pass the Dutchie.
I think it's Coochie is original, right?
Pass the Coochie.
Pass the spliff, they call them.
Yeah, the Dutchie, yeah.
Remember that song by
From
Musical Youth?
Yeah.
So were you in America when that song came out?
I think I was in, it's tough to tell. You have to look up the year, but I might have been in Jamaica. No, I might have been in America.
Were you super proud of them?
Yeah, I like them. I like Musical Youth.
Yeah, they crushed.
Yeah.
Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Do you like how I sing it? Or is it
you do it way better than them. I don't know.
Were they faking? Were they fake? Fake Jamaican?
I think they like have Jamaican descent. Their parents. I think they were British like Jamaicans.
Yeah, they were Musical Youth, and that video. Oh man, it was so cool. Like they were in a courtroom and they were on trial for I don't know being cool. And then they were like, pass the chip on the left-hand side. There they are. They were kids, dude.
Yeah.
They were kids playing instruments. It was wild.
Hilarious.
That's you. That was you, dude, in Two Dork Titties in Long Island.
Titties in Long Island.
Pass the chip on the left-hand side.
Hilarious.
Yeah, everything's Irie. So you land, and what struck you about Jew Dork Titties? Like, do you remember what your first thing?
Yeah, I remember having on, like, my what in Jamaica would be considered like dress up winter clothes, and stepping out the airport and then stepping back in like this. I need to put on all my clothes. This is fucking freezing. Like, what is this? Like, I lit the wind, just like, take that shit off, nigga. Put on something warm. I was like, whoa, give me. Like, they had to pull me out the airport. It's fucking freezing.
Fuck that.
Coming from a tropical ass place.
Yeah.
It was fucking freezing, man.
I imagine.
Yeah.
You probably, have you seen snow before?
Yeah, from England, but I don't remember England being as cold as like, or maybe because I
No.
just grew up in it. It didn't, and then I'd been away from it.
Yeah.
But that was harsh.
I think Jew Dork Titties gets colder than London.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, because I don't know, does London have a proper snowfall? Like, I feel like it kind of like flurries, but
Yeah.
I don't remember ever it. Like,
Yeah, I've never heard
snowing in
like
England.
London being shut down
Yeah.
because of snow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like, no, it gets cold and shitty. Like, it's gray and depressing
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, but God, what a different climate. So you land in New York and you're like, fuck this. This is
Mm-hmm.
cold. And do you remember like smells and sounds and like,
I remember the cold the most, and so I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is some
fuck
bullshit.
cold? I agree.
It's some
That's
bullshit.
Bullshit.
Like I was like, shit. You know what? I shouldn't have complained about that outhouse. Like, it's not that bad. I can walk to it. It's warm. I was like, shit. That the nerve of me. Now I'm getting paid back. But yeah, it was the cold, and then like I made a big adjustment before when I went from England to Jamaica, so I'd kind of been programmed to like it's adjustment time again.
And how old were you, sorry, when you left London to go to Jamaica?
9.
Oh, so that's like, that kind of sucks because you've got your friends
Yeah.
in London, you've got you've got the lay of the land, and then they're like, nope, we're going to this crazy island, this island life, which is very different than London.
Yeah.
God damn. And now you're back to the city. So that must have felt somewhat familiar because you weren't like just an island kid, you know?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, but at the same time, you lose like all the shit that you just established, like your
Yeah.
friends, the routine, and all that. But then again, I've done it before, so yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about, or maybe I went to a wedding, and these people, the groom knew these people from his childhood. Like, I remember moving from England to Jamaica and being pen pals with my 2 best friends in England, and we wrote 2 letters, and then it was over.
Yeah. That's how it was back in the day with pen pals. You're like, we're
Yeah, I
not
was like,
so-
I can't keep this.
Yeah.
I got to go climb this mountain. Fuck these motherfuckers. And then same thing with Jamaica. We wrote 2 letters back
Yeah.
and forth
Yeah.
because we didn't have email.
Sure.
And then I was like, yes, fuck this.
Yeah, and fuck a
Yeah,
phone call.
yeah.
You know how expensive it was to make phone calls back
We
then?
didn't have no phone.
You didn't call to the old country.
yeah.
That shit cost a fortune. Wow.
Yeah.
So now you're in Jew Dark Titties. You're in high school. You're kicking it with the Jamaicans.
Jamaicans and making friends with some, we call the Black Americans Yankees. So, you know, in between non-beefs with the Yankees, we're like kicking it with them. And there was like a sprinkling of like white people.
Sure.
In the
They got
thing.
it. Like cool white people.
Yeah.
Now, did the Yankees accept Jamaican blacks?
Yeah, but then we had beef.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the beef like?
It just, you're from somewhere else.
Yeah, you're not like American.
Yeah, you're not like American, because
Yeah.
like people of the same color and race can make beef, and from the same place can make beef with each other.
I
So
know.
anybody with a little difference, you can make
I know.
beef with them.
It's so funny because I always think about like in New York, they're like, those Italians are coming. Like, people didn't like Italians? Like, what are you talking about?
I know, they're white like
Yeah,
you.
what
Like, they're from Europe like you. Why are you making this big separation?
Yeah, not only that, their food is great.
Yeah.
Like, they're delicious. They're culturally pretty cool. Like, what's the deal? I know. So funny. So that's interesting. Yeah, there's always a hierarchy. There's always beef. And Eastern Europeans are the same way.
Yeah.
Like, Hungarians are very proud to be Hungarian. And you're like, we're better than the Romanians. Or we're better than the Czechs, you know? And the Russians are just the worst. Like, there's always the list of people. So a few white people. Now, did you date? Did you have a girlfriend?
I had a girlfriend, but I got her from work.
You got her from work?
Yeah, not from the high school. Like, I was working at Burger King.
Sweet, dude. You did?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I never did was fast food. I did Starbucks. I did waitressing. What was it like?
Starbucks is the equivalent of like fast food.
It is,
like now. Yeah.
So did you, what was your function at Burger King?
First, I was like the basic is like, just get the patties out of the freezer right here and put them on the grill.
That's it.
And then they go through, and then the people do. I think you do both. You put them on the grill, they roll through, and you keep putting them on the grill, and you time how much you put on, and then you go on the other side, and you just take the patties and put them in between a bun, and then put the bun in this thing. And then the person on the, it's like it's conveyor belt system.
Yeah.
So then the person on that side who's like there's the burger side, and there's the fish sandwich side, and the chicken sandwich side, and the fry side. So the person on the burger side like looks at the orders, and then they'll dip into the thing that you put the bun and the patties in, and take them out and like, all right, this is a cheeseburger. It's 2 pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, whatever, and then put them on the chute for the person picking up the order who either took the order or is going to hand it to the cashier for the cashier to.
What a smart, mechanized way. That was pretty revolutionary, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, now that I say it, it sounds like, oh, shit, they had this shit planned out.
They did have that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the McDonald's movie, but the guy, they invented this automation,
The
whatever the word
efficiency,
is.
yeah.
Like a system. One guy does this, the other guy does that. It's an assembly line functioning for food, which is fascinating. And is it that moment that you're like, fuck this, I'm going to be a comedian? Like, is that when you started to be like, ugh?
No, but so it's funny that you said that. Like, so I'm behind the grill. I'm like the newest person there, and I'm just putting the patties on, catching them on the other side, put them in the thing. There's this dude, his name is Greg Ellis. He's making chicken sandwiches, fries, and fish sandwiches on this side.
It's a lot.
He also controls the radio because the radio's on that side. So whoever's on that side controls the radio. Unless you on this side making burgers and you have seniority, and then in between you making burgers, you go over to the fish side and like change the radio or whatever. You know what
Change.
I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
sure. The tunes are very important.
And override. Yeah, because
Yeah, that's dominance.
It's dominance.
Whoever controls the tunes.
Yeah. It's like controlling the phones or the TV in prison.
Sure.
It's basically.
Right?
You know what I mean? You better hope you have the same taste as the person in prison who controls the TVs. Or else you're going to be a Jeopardy fan, whether you want to be or not.
Yeah. So, but that's a good thing. How old are you when you working at Burger King?
I think I started like at 17 or 18.
Right, when you came to New York. And so that's is that your first job ever?
First job ever.
Oh my gosh. How humbling, and how did you just come home smelling of beef every night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at Starbucks, like I would come home and just smell like rotten milk and coffee.
Damn.
Like the grinds are just in your hair and in your, your skin just smell like grinds and stuff. But it's those jobs that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the future. I better figure something out because this is terrible. I don't want to be the guy that's in charge of the radio. Like that can't be my ceiling. You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny. But when I was there, so this is what led to comedy. It's definitely from Burger King, and so Greg, the radio, chicken, fish guy, he's funny as shit.
Okay.
He's funny
Here
as
we
shit.
go.
And
Is Greg Jamaican?
nah, he's American. He's a Yankee.
He's a Yankee.
He's a Yankee.
Is he a black guy or a white
Black.
guy? Okay.
Yeah. Like all the black Americans were Yankees.
blackies,
That's the
okay.
irony
Okay.
of like how Jamaica Yankee. But these, Yankee would be like
Yeah.
to if you're from America.
Yes,
Yankees
the
is
outsider.
like
Yeah.
But from
Yeah.
But he's funny as shit, and I'm like back there for shift after shift, like this motherfucker's funny, and like this shift is going faster, and I'm like going back and forth talking. He's killing on the chicken side. He's killing the people at the register. Like food is late, like the people at the cash register in the front, like normally would want to be out there, but the fun is all back here.
Wow.
And I'm like this, and I was like, oh shit, you gotta. And sometimes you have like weird moments that just occur to you when you're talking to yourself, and you're like, as a comic, sometimes you'll say something funny, but you don't know it's a joke, and it takes another comic to say that's funny, that's a joke.
Yeah, because it's normal talk to you.
Right.
But to somebody else, they're like, that's crazy.
Right.
But you're crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so everything is normal to
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So
then my normal talks to me. Like there was nobody to say to me, hey, look what he's doing. So I did it to me. I stepped outside of me and said, look what he's doing. This motherfucker's funny. You need to I said to myself, you need to tap into your funny side. You've forgotten it because you're in this like place where like you just kind of got out of touch with yourself.
Yeah.
And this is something you've done in England and Jamaica. So this is what you need to do. So that's when I was like, just back there, I said, okay. So then I started like practicing being funny Ian. Like that started to come back to me. And then I became the second funniest person in Burger King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And was Greg threatened? Or
Nah, he was a homie.
he was cool with you?
Yeah, he was cool. Just bringing fun. Like, you guys are fucking fun. Just bringing fun and adding more fun to the fun. And then he could take an hour out of the shift off. You know what I'm saying? Right, so it's just like, So I was his feature.
I love it. And so
Yeah.
he was teaching you the ropes. Isn't that so true? And I think that's something that you have to teach yourself is your attitude.
Yeah.
And what you learned was the right attitude is going to make shit work. Because it's really interesting, because you can go into these types of jobs and just grumble all day, like, man, everything sucks. I work at fucking Burger King. I'll never be a success and da. Or you can be like, listen, I know I'm not going to work at Burger King forever. This shit's stupid. Let's have a good time. And it's like such a distinction because I've worked several day jobs, and like you see those fucks, man. Those people that are just in there, they don't rise above the situation. And humor is a great way to rise above. Yeah, that's huge, actually.
Yeah, and then perspective is everything. I love the fact that you had like Eastern European parents.
Yeah.
Like and then I look at you like you're impressed with like what my mother did to get here and to work here, and I'm impressed with your parents. But like perspective is everything. They're looking at like a better thing, a better life. So it's probably like nothing to them what they did to be in a refugee camp compared to where they were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like they probably was like, oh, this refugee camp, it's way better than, because at any point in the refugee camp, they could have been like, fuck it, let's go back.
Yeah.
But they never thought.
So true.
They like, nah, this is better, and where we go after this is definitely going to be better than this. So it's like perspective. So in the Burger King, I'm making minimum wage, but I didn't have a job in Jamaica.
Right.
So I'm actually have a bank account now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I have American money, which is what every Jamaican person or anybody in the world wants, is like American money. So no matter how little it was fucking a bank account money and smelly clothes. You know what I'm saying? And now we're cracking jokes on top of that shit. So it's just like, it's like fun. It's just trying to figure it out. There's always that part, and you're young, and you don't know where your place is in the world, but you do have these things because of perspective. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
And that's why white kids need a Jamaican nanny. For perspective.
Yes, you need to suffer a little bit. I think suffering when you're young, like you're going to suffer no matter what.
Right.
Life will bring you suffering. Usually it starts in middle age just by virtue of going through your parents dying or just death and aging. But if you're lucky, I believe you get to suffer early, like in childhood. And then you're like, oh shit, like look at these fucking pussy crybabies. They don't even know yet. I'm like, it kind of puts you ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, this ain't shit. Like listening to my parents talk, you're like, Starbucks ain't shit, bro. Like my parents escaped communism.
That's crazy.
Fuck you.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, like go fuck you. And I have their DNA in me as you have in you.
Right.
You have that like, fuck you DNA. I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Which is psychotic and it's crazy. And then to be like, I'm going to be a comedian in this country that I wasn't even born in.
That's fucking bananas. Like,
and you succeed.
Hearing you say that makes it sound bananas. Yeah.
And you succeed.
Yeah. And then the thing you were saying about, you said something about like struggling early.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes a kid is in school and they graduate early because they kind of like have advanced like mathematical knowledge, or they can code or whatever. Like for you or for me, the early struggle is a version of that. So that, but it's an advancement in just life shit.
Exactly.
Which is like they don't teach you in school, but you're gonna need for most of the time you're on this fucking
100%.
place. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think 100%. And I think and I'm trying to think exactly what it is. I think it's that regular shit doesn't faze me as much as it phases other people.
Right.
Oh my God, I have to pay taxes. Like, okay, well, fucking shut the fuck up. Like, if you can throw money at it, it's not a problem.
Right.
In my
Yeah, because money was
out.
money was my issue.
Yeah.
Growing up. So as long as I can get some money, anything else is like
Yeah. If I'm not dying of some illness or some shit, like it's not an issue. So that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. And I also like, you see shit coming before it happens. My therapist calls it hypervigilance, where you're just like 20 steps ahead.
Right.
Because you're like, oh, that's coming. I better get the fuck out of the way, you know? And people that don't have early stuff in life, they're like, what do you mean? What happened?
Right.
There's a pandemic coming? Like, dude, I saw COVID fucking coming, bro.
Oh, word.
I stocked that pantry.
That's hilarious.
I already had steaks in the freezer. I had all the fucking toilet paper. I was like, bring it, dude. Yeah, Tom thinks I'm crazy, but I was like, who's crazy now?
Right,
toilet paper, huh? You like your steak, Tom?
That's hilarious. So you eating
fucking
that steak
did that.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of good.
Yeah. I feel like every doomsday prepper wants the world to end
Yeah.
because they want to prove that they were right.
That's what I'm saying.
And the people banging on their door said, let me in. And now, motherfucker, you thought I was crazy. Stay out there.
Yeah, because your temperament is very even keel. I've known you for a long time. I've never seen you lose your cool.
Right.
Is that just your default setting?
I think that's just my default setting. Like, I can't say I've never lost my cool, but for the most part, like, here's another weird thing at Burger King. Like, when we had it was almost like, you saw the movie War Games, DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2, DEFCON 3, or even when they had like, what's the Terror Alert thing?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, we had a version of that at Burger King. So, like, it's like, so there's, I forgot what we called it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is like dinner rush.
Oh, okay.
So the thing goes to 5. So that's when everybody's like, and on all stations.
Yes.
So as the numbers go up, I would stay calm.
Yeah.
And then like, everybody's like, so now I'm making the sandwiches and they need the sandwiches because customers are waiting. It's a fast food restaurant. So you're supposed to get the food fast. And people would be like, how come you're not panicking? Because all the orders are due at the same time. I don't know. I didn't know I was supposed to panic.
You just fucking focused in, right?
Yeah. I was just making the shit. So that was good for that. Them letting me know I should be panicking actually fucked me up a little bit. Yeah. Because then I would panic a little bit because I was like, because I'm new here, so I want to do what I'm supposed to and act the way I'm supposed to act. But before that shit never occurred to me.
Yeah, then they're like, yeah, you should be this, you should be that, but you weren't. You were inherently calm. So you're working at Burger King. You're 17. You're in America. When do you start doing stand up?
I started doing stand up like early 20s. I stayed at Burger King way longer than I should have.
Yeah.
I actually did control the radio.
But it sounds like it was a good place for you.
No,
so there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't take it back. And
but as long as you don't stay the radio guy forever, that's
Right.
what I mean.
No.
No,
and I get it, but like, listen, I knew I was there too long. I was like, you got to get out of here. Like, what do you? But I just got comfortable, and I went to school, and I had, you know what it was? I had other jobs, like I'd be like a security guard and shit while I was, and then still be able to do the Burger King job, and then I was like the night porter, so I didn't work on the thing. It paid more. So it was like above minimum wage and shit like that. So you just come in at night and clean everything up. So I was just doing that.
God, you were hustling.
Yeah, like that, immigrant shit.
Yeah.
So then, so I was there, but I was still doing other jobs and shit. And then one day I was taking an order on the drive-through, and somebody was like, I was clowning, like, now I'm being funny, Ian. And somebody came through to pick up their order. It's like, hey, man, was that you that took my order? I was like, yeah. He said, you're funny, man. You should try comedy.
Stop.
Dead up. And
Stop.
And you know that voice that was told me to pay attention to Greg and tap into my funny side?
Yes.
It was like, that's what you're going to do.
Yep.
And it said it. I felt it. And now we're here. Like there was no question in it. Yeah.
And it's all about, listening to those moments of intuition.
Yes.
When someone goes, you're funny, you should do that. And you're like, oh God, you're right. Okay. What do I do? Where do I go? What do I sign up? How do I sign up? Let's go. That's it.
Yeah. Christina, I never thought of doing comedy before.
Of course.
Ever.
Of course.
And this person said that. And I was like,
oh shit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so did you go to stand up first, or where did you go first?
I knew it was going to be stand up because that's what the person said and that's what resonated. And, I'd seen like some Eddie Murphy stuff, and I started like listening to like getting stand up tapes and Eddie Murphy, Pryor,
Eddie Murphy was
Cosby.
the best. I memorized Delirious as a little girl.
Delirious?
Those bits are so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He was only like 21 or 23 when he recorded Delirious.
He basically just started his stand-up journey. That's how good he was.
I mean, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
The guy is fucking brilliant. And Richard Pryor, obviously, brilliant. That was a good generation. Good era. So you're studying these tape. You're working at Burger King. Now, instead of playing music, are you playing stand-up?
Nah, I'm keeping everything close to my vest. Like,
Yeah, smart.
I'm not letting anybody know what's
Smart.
up. I'm just like, and then the jokes that I'm telling people, if I get a reaction, I'm making notes. I'm like, keep that. I'm like building a set. And I start going to Governor's Comedy Club
On Long Island.
In Long Island, which is like maybe a mile from where I work, maybe probably less. And
how
going to open
serendipitous
mics.
is that, by the way?
Exactly.
It's less than a mile.
From where I work. And I don't work at the Burger King in my town. I'm working in the Burger King that's close to the first place. That's going to be my first home club. So, and
Like, I just got chills. I got goosebumps. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty bananas.
It's amazing.
And near where the guy, at the Burger King where the guy says you should do comedy. And I know where the comedy club is already. So I'm like, I'm going there. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing. And how was your first time doing stand-up?
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bombed my ass off.
Yeah.
Because I'd been to some mics to watch.
Yeah.
You know, they had an open mic night. I know what night it is. I go, I watch and shit. And checking it out from the back. And I sign up for a day. And I did tell some friends. And they did come. But then I walked on stage. And then the lights hit me. I didn't know.
Oh, no.
When you're watching, you can see everything. You don't know how bright the lights are. But the lights stunned me. And then I was like, that's why the cops shine the light on you when they pull you over. Because you can't see and it freezes you.
That's so, I didn't put that together.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and then when you can't see, you don't move.
Very yes.
It disorientates.
Because you don't really see when you're the comedian and the light's on you, you also don't sometimes see the audience because it's so bright that it blacks out everything else, and that's the kind of light they shine on you. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking evil.
Right, but as a comic, you get used to those lights.
Yeah.
And you but the first time you're like,
yeah. It's so scary.
I'm like, what the fuck is? I'm like this. So that on top of nerves.
Oh my God.
I messed up all the jokes.
Yeah.
But then the last one, I was like, I guess I took a breath or something, and I said it correctly, and it worked. So when I got off, I was like, this was terrible. Yeah. But it was terrible because you were nervous. So the last one worked because you said it right. So all you have to do now is keep working on your nerves. So the first phase was like, keep working on your nerves. I was nervous for a long time.
Yes.
For like
how many years? Yeah.
Years, yeah. I can't.
How many?
A long time. Too long.
Yeah. 7 years I would have diarrhea all day, every day of my set. And then by year 10, it's gone.
Yeah.
But 7 years.
Yeah. I was nervous
sick.
about that. Like different, I think 7 years in, I got rid of some of the nerves, but still had a significant amount. And there's just still like, now it's good.
Yeah.
Because there was a point, it's like, hey man, you going to enjoy this shit?
Right.
Or not? You know?
Right. Yeah, because you reach a level of proficiency where you know what you're doing. So now you can relax a bit on your skill set because you've done your 10,000 hours, right? So by year 10, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't going into the death camp. You know, like you...
Yeah, we have these... Yeah.
Because what's weird is that I don't think you don't always enjoy stand-up the first decade. It's usually like it's 50-50. Like, oh God, like you can still bomb.
Yes.
Like, you can still just want to die after the end of a night. You can have great moments, but you forget those moments if you ate shit at other places.
Right.
So it's like, oh God, yeah. Until your batting average gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dread. Isn't that crazy though? Like what psychos we are that will put ourselves through like a decade of misery essentially so that you get over that hump and now you're like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's crazy to think that you willingly put yourself in front of a firing squad every night for just forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit used to hurt. You know what I mean? That shit used to hurt, you know, but you know you have like a goal in sight and you know it's achievable and you're just like, all right, let's keep doing this. We gotta go back again, you know? Sometimes I go to mics and they be like, there's not enough people, cancel the show. I'm like, whew.
Yeah. I remember that. You're like, thank God I didn't.
Yeah, I tried. I was here. It ain't my fault. Shit, you see me here. Shit. If nobody showed up. That's on them. I'm not a coward.
Did my job tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell you one night, Whitney Cummings, so I showed up to an open mic like that in Silver Lake and nobody showed up except the comics. And I was like, all right, going to Tom's house. We're going to fuck tonight. You know, like, who gives a shit? I'm free. Because Tommy lived down the street and I was 28 or something. Now, fucking Whitney Cummings, overachiever she is. She's like, let's just workshop it, guys. And I was like, no. Getting out of here. I'm going to go fuck my boyfriend. No. Fucking Whitney.
Yeah, and then you had to do it.
I didn't do it, but I did it. Because I was like, because I don't want to fucking do jokes in front of comics.
Right.
They don't laugh the way normal people do. So I was like, fuck you, Whitney. What are you going to become? Who are you going to end up being with your work ethic?
I would have stayed and did it so resentfully. I would have done it so resentfully.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, like, thanks.
Like,
fucking bitch.
And then, that's
Whitney.
hilarious.
But she's got that work ethic too. She's good.
She still got that shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
So when do you start getting a little bit of, like, when are you making money as a how long did you stay at Burger King as you were becoming a stand-up?
I stayed there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I forgot, like, when I left. But I was just, like, doing it. And then I think, like, in the 90s, like, got on some, like, TV shows and shit like Def Jam, Uptown Comedy Club.
You did Def Jam?
Yeah.
Google it, Ian Edwards
Hilarious.
on Def Jam. Hold on, I got to take a piss. Oh my God.
That's
oh
hilarious.
my God. Hold on. That's you?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this. This is Ian on Def. So Look at your dreads, dude.
I still got them in a drawer at home.
You do?
Yeah.
So how far into comedy are you when you get to do Def Comedy Jam?
How far? To be honest,
Look at you.
and I'm still nervous, even before this and after this, as far as comedy. Like, I'm just like going hard to protect myself on stage.
Yeah. Do you remember what your best joke was of that set? Because it's only 5 minutes. And it had to be TV. No, with Def Jam, you could be dirty, right?
Yeah, you could be dirty, yeah. I had some shit about like, I had callbacks in this set.
Nice.
I had a whole thing, like I seen, and I didn't do it on purpose. It's just how I learned comedy. So I had callbacks. And so when you do a TV set, they edit it up, right? So some people's set you see and you're like, damn, they just ruined that person's set. I've seen this person and I know what their set is like. So, but because I had callbacks and tines and things that were linked, like most of my TV sets were always aired mostly in entirety.
Oh, good.
And like, it was never choppy, like jumping from this joke to this joke.
hate when
So
they
that's
do
what
that.
I liked about like even this set when you ask about favorite joke. It's like, they're kind of, I found a way to connect all of them. So it's like, it's just one 5-minute set.
Which is very advanced, actually. I mean, do you remember what year you were like?
This is 90s for sure.
So you had been, that's really advanced. Can I just hear a little bit of him? We cannot play it on the show.
No, you don't even open the shit. You just take the envelope and throw it in the corner with the rest of the shit. If they ask you, did you see our bill? No, we ain't see shit. Because we ain't open shit. I don't pay nothing. I don't pay shit. They cut all my shit off.
I love it.
The light is cut off. I just use a match. The phone company, I don't pay them shit. They the biggest ripoffs. Am I bullshitting? They take all our fucking money. The phone company think they slick. Everybody here, you make one phone call a month, you get a $200 phone bill.
Yes.
I know people with no phone get a phone bill. What the fuck is this?
You crushed.
Yeah.
You crushed.
Yeah. Because I know it's Def Jam, and I'm like, this is my one of my few shots. So it's like let's do this.
God,
You know
that's
what I
a
mean?
huge break.
Uh-huh.
And did things shift for you? Like, were you able to now like feature act or?
Yeah, it helped a little bit, but there was like Def Jam was going down a little bit when I got on, and there's no social media at the time for you to like push it. Like, I run into people that remember that set,
Yeah.
but they couldn't find out where to see me.
I know.
You know what I
It
mean?
was so hard.
Yeah, so it's like,
That part sucked.
Yeah.
You remember I used to make flyers and like, come to my Tangier on Friday.
Tangier.
Yeah, fucking like, what, dude? It's at this restaurant in Los Feliz. Yeah, flyers.
Yeah. For that, I made like 200
God.
like printouts or cards. I forgot and like mailed them to all the agencies.
Yeah,
And the
wow.
management company so they could like tune in on that date. Like physically mailed them.
Good for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Did it work? Did
No,
anybody?
not at all.
Not at all. Yeah.
Nothing.
You know, it's funny, the stuff that you think is gonna like, psh, like this is it, just nothing.
Right.
And then sometimes you'll do a random something, and that's what gets you the manager. That's what'll get you.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. And may I see your Apollo? Is the Apollo up there?
Yeah, let's see if we can find
Now
it. Yeah.
the Apollo, do they do the show anymore? Even?
I did this thing, but I did the Apollo like
Oh my God, this is the
the one they
scariest.
didn't tape. But there's a one called the Apollo Comedy Hour that I did. Is
I
that
mean,
it? Oh shit.
Is this not the scariest gig in stand-up? Is the Apollo, because they will boo you, and the guy comes with the fucking broom. Mm-hmm. But you don't look like you got booed. You don't look scared.
Because I'm faking it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I got.
Oh shit! You got the moving.
Yeah,
dude.
I know how to come
Here.
out and like sell it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
sold it. Your confidence is like. I can
How
tell.
did you even find this? I can't. I've never even seen this set.
I just Googled Ian Edwards at the Apollo.
Oh shit! I'm terrible at that.
Did you get to rub the log? Did you rub the log?
Because it was a TV set. It's not like the.
Oh, it's not like the Apollo.
It's a guest spot. So it's
Gotcha.
like there's no log on this one. I'm not like a contestant.
So cool.
Just looking at how terrible I was dressed. All right.
I know. It's always embarrassing to look back. Interesting, too, is that black audiences are different than white audiences. And you have to learn how to do every audience.
Yeah.
And I remember like when I first started headlining, I was with the Improvs. They were my manager. And they'll send you wherever.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
I was like, I would do all the, quote, urban rooms. They don't say black, they say urban. And I'd always be like the one white girl on the calendar. And it's a whole other fucking dimension of stand-up. Because I think in those rooms, if they smell your fear... blood in the water.
Yeah, that's why you see me coming out like that.
Yes.
Like
that's why. That's why I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not killing, if your energy is fuck you, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
Then they'll respect you.
Right. Exactly.
But the minute you're kind of like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah. You have to like, especially in New York, you just have to come out strong.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that I learned. Like now, audiences are more educated just about comedy, period.
Yeah.
But back then, like a black room, you could kill 10 jokes in a row. You say one that they don't like, they'll boo you.
They're done.
And you're like, yo, what about the other 10 jokes? Come on, y'all. That ain't getting no credit. It's the worst credit system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be strong, hard all the way through back then. Yeah.
All the way. Yeah. No, you have no fear.
Yeah.
That's the big secret. That's what I learned with that. That's interesting. Yeah, because like, anyway. But you're one of those, you can do like everything. You're a crossover. Isn't that what they say? Because sometimes black comedians get pigeonholed into black audiences, right?
Yeah.
Did you have that? Did people say that stuff to you? Because you came up, because I've come up in a time where they're like, your women are only going to like you and you can't be dirty. Women don't like dirty comedians. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what women like. I can only say what I like. Right. Whoever likes me, likes me.
Yeah, there was that time when, and it still might be in existence where like you're black, so we'll book you in the black rooms or that. But I started out in white rooms. And then I had to learn how to do black rooms because then black rooms started popping up because of Def Jam before I was on there and because of the Apollo and all that shit. And then I had to learn that. And then I had to like combine it. And I would do black and white rooms. So to make sure that the material worked in both. So then, and I want it to be universal anyway. But then you do lose some of the niche, like black people and some of the white people, but you have a combination of like overall broad of them, but I also still wanted to be edgy. You know what I mean? So, and which will make you lose some black people anyway, because you can't say anything like black people have like a very religious. So you have to, so there's all these nuances just within like comedy. And then you have to choose like, well, I like wanting to be able to talk about anything. So I'll take this risk for whatever color, whatever religion, whatever, nationality. And then that's your comedy DNA.
That's so true.
You know what
Because
I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about. There's just value systems to each group of people. So if you're like, I identify only as like a female comic, then I can't shit on women ever.
Right.
I can't make fun of fat models. Well, guess what? I fucking hate fat models. So this is what I'm going to talk about. And I can see that I'm turning off like a lot of women. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you don't like this. This is who I am, and I can't be beholden.
Right.
Yeah. But then you see comics that just go one lane, one audience, and maybe their values are totally aligned.
Right.
I guess.
Maybe.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But generally comedians are thinking people. Like we're not just all one or the other. But whatever.
Yeah. I like how you put that, because that makes sense. It's just like you have to, people have different value systems and they're different races, and you have to like pick the things or be the things that are you from all those things that form you as a comic, and then just like fuck it,
Yeah.
And that's a part of like feeling alive.
Yeah.
That you made these choices regardless, and that's who you are going to be, and that just feels good.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's fighting to be themselves, right?
Gosh,
And
why is it so hard though? Like and when you become a comedian, that's really the struggle is really drilling down and being like, what do I really think? That's bullshit. That's what I think I should say.
Right.
What should I fucking say right here?
Right. Like, look how much you got out of being you. Like, finally being you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you know, you're just glad you listen to your instincts. Me, I'm glad I listen to my instincts.
Yeah.
Joe, Tom, just anybody. It's just like, and even in any field, but in comedy, being yourself is put in front of your face every set. And you have to make that choice on a set-by-set basis until you become who you're supposed to be, unless some people, and there are some comics that choose not to be who they're supposed to be, and it might still work out for them, like financially, but I'm glad the way comedy just forced me more to be me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because being me got me into this, so I have to stay me through this shit.
Oh my God.
You know?
Dude, I just had a fucking big epiphany.
Oh, where?
Yeah, because you're like, if being me is what got me to have other people be like, hey, you're funny, you should do this, then I should probably just keep doing that.
Yeah.
But the temptation is what you just said when you first start stand-up is to be what you think other people want you to be, or you want approval.
Yeah. And you want results.
You want results.
So then, like, comedy's also about results and laughter. So then there's this temptation, and I felt succumb to it, to not be me, you know, just to win.
Yeah, just to win.
But then it's like your parents in the refugee camp. Like they followed the siren of like what they really wanted. So they stayed in the camp for 2 years. That's a long fucking time. Yeah. You know, when you're supposed to be on your way to this place to wait and then stick to it. And so it's like, I'm trying to get to this place, so I have to stick to this, even though these results are over here. But if I get the results that way, I will feel fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it has to be the way I want it.
That's true, because I'm friends with comics who they do what they think they should do, and then you get really successful that way. And then, like, let's say your thing is like you're the funny hat comic and you make your living as the silly hat guy. Well, guess what? Now you're gonna have to wear that fucking hat on the Tonight Show. You have to wear that fucking hat. You know what I mean? If you build it on a false premise, on
a gimmick.
100%, or just values that you don't agree with. That's going to be trouble.
That you don't agree with.
And anyway, one of the cool things too about comedy, it's funny because everybody is like non-binary and, you know, talking about like their gender. And the other day I was talking to this kid and I was like trying to understand his pronouns, and I was like, holy shit, dude, I think I'm non-binary because like I've never felt all a female woman. I'm not saying that I'm identifying sexually. I'm heterosexual. But in my soul, I've never just been a woman. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I could say and do whatever I fucking want because I'm above the expectations of what society wants from me. And I like that with comedy because you can transcend your physical appearance. Right. If the audience loves you, they don't give a fuck what package you're in. Right. And that's like the coolest. Because I wanted to be in the boys' world. I always liked what the boys were doing. Shit. And I'm never going to be a boy. I don't want to be a boy. But it's cool, you know?
Yeah, you just gave me chills on that.
Really?
Yeah, because it connected when you were talking about, like, you're a woman, so you're not supposed to talk about fat models, but you want to. And, you know, that helps me understand what you just said. Like that, like, it's like, you're non-binary in a mentally or spiritually.
Right, but not like gender. Yeah. I'm kind of a citizen of every, I try to be understanding of every whatever. Right. We're just meat vessels, different meat shapes.
Yeah.
Same shit, different toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I got to go, but this has been such an amazing discussion, Ian, and I can't wait for you to move to Austin. And you're going to be in Studio Jeans all the time.
All right.
We're going to do our, what did the patois lady?
Patois Wheel of Fortune.
We got to build a set for that so you can come back and do that. Is there anything you want to plug? My goodness.
Just go to my Instagram at Ian Edwards Comic, and my link tree has all my dates. I'm going to add more, but, you know, just follow me on there. And I don't fuck with TikTok as much.
Yeah.
But but just go to @Ian Edwards Comic on Instagram. And
oh, you guys
fuck with
have
me
to
there.
see him live. He's absolutely hilarious. Thank you so much for being here, Ian.
Thanks for having me.
You're the best, dude.
You're the best.
All right. Until next time, stay cool, moms. Bye. Hi, Mommy. Thank you for watching that episode. Did you like what you see? I hope you did. So why don't you subscribe? Just click the subscribe button and, hit the notification bell so you can get notified. And also, why don't you watch another video? Watch one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, down there, whatever. There's so much stuff, bro. I make these all the time for you to watch. That's why I'm here. I love you.